This the life that I dream of. This the life that I dream of. This the life that I...
Hi friends, welcome back to my channel, Fit 360 Over 40. If it's your first time here, hi, I'm Ashley, and I hope you're having a productive day. I wanted to take some time and do a video. I saw a video done by Nima Tang, who's a beauty YouTuber, and it really inspired me to do a similar video to what she did. And what I want to do is I want to talk about things that we say to ourselves internally that we would never say to our friends or to another human being. We have a tendency to speak to ourselves in a way that is harmful to our own interest and our own self-esteem versus uplifting things that we say to other people. So I want to talk through some of the things that I say to myself and how I plan to try and say them differently or combat those things moving forward. And I thought that it would be, since I'm sort of cleansing my aura of these bad thoughts or bad sayings, I thought it would be fun to do my face routine while I'm sharing these with you and sort of clean my face while I'm cleansing my spirit. But anyway, so the first thing I do when I clean my face is I pull my hair back, and me and my mom got these cute little headbands at Target. So this is what I've been using to keep my hair out of my face because it's fun. And then my first step is always I take a makeup wipe, whether I'm wearing makeup or not. And I take a makeup wipe and I just wipe my face off with it. So, one of the things that we tend to do, just as humans, is self-sabotage. And everybody's version of self-sabotaging is different. What your inner voice or actions might say are different for you than they are for me. But the first thing that I want to discuss is I always compare myself to other people. Whether it be, it's not just about looks. I'll compare their pictures of their family to my family, or pictures of their activities to my activities, even if it's completely an invalid comparison. The saying goes, comparison is the thief of joy, and I really believe that. Most of my internal struggle with self-esteem is around me comparing myself to somebody else who's not walking the same path as me, who's not even going to the same life goals, yet somehow I feel like comparing them is valid to my own existence. And I would never tell my best friend to compare themselves to somebody else as a means of self-esteem, but yet we do it to ourselves. I don't have any children. That's not my path in life right now. And yet I'm fine with that. But then I see pictures of friends or people I went to high school with their family, and their children are doing all these activities, and all of a sudden it makes me feel like I'm less of a person. I make myself feel like I'm less of a person because I don't have those children and I don't have those activities. And there's no reason for me to feel that way. It's a life choice that I've made at this point to not have children. So I'm just robbing myself of my own happiness by comparing myself. By the way, the next thing I'm using is micellar water. Just to make sure I have all the dirt and grime off my face. I did work out this morning, so, there might be some sweat and dirt and all that. I just want to make sure you get it all off before I move on to the next steps. But, that's one way I use comparison to try and bring myself down. I also tend to compare myself to the way somebody else looks or the way someone else performs at the gym. So I go to the gym and I work really hard. I can lift pretty heavy. heavier than most, even some of the guys there can. And yet I see someone who I think is more fit, and I assume that just even though I can lift more, I tell myself they're better than me because I see them in cuter clothes, or I see them looking more in shape, or their hair looks better, and I use that as a mechanism to bring myself down. When really I should be going, I shouldn't even be comparing at all. It should be, I am doing what I can do and what's best for me. And I should be proud of my accomplishments at the gym, not looking down on myself because I don't look like somebody else at the gym. Or I can't walk on the treadmill as long as somebody else at the gym can. But I can lift heavier than that person. And I get caught up in these thoughts. And so what I'm really trying to be conscious of is instead of looking at somebody and what they're doing at the gym, looking at my own self. What am I doing? What milestone can I hit to better myself versus comparing myself to someone else? Because their path is different. And I have to just keep continually reminding myself that their path is different. So that's a couple of the ways I compare, but it's everywhere. Social media has made it super easy for us to peer into other people's lives and see what they want us to see. And so it is easy to get in that comparison game of it's really, look how happy that person is. Why don't I have that? Instead of looking at what you do have or what I do have in my life that is bringing me joy and bringing me fulfillment and bringing me happiness. So I'm trying to, I go to the gym. I get up in the morning or after work and I go to the gym. There's a lot of people that don't do that. And that's an accomplishment. Just being there is a big deal. So I need to own that and be proud of that. And not compare myself to the other people that are there. Because they're there for the same goal. And that's to be healthier, to work out, to enjoy your workouts. So comparison is really the first thing that I do, or things that I say to myself that I would never say to someone else. I would never tell a friend or family member to find your happiness by comparing yourself to someone else. It just doesn't even make sense when you say it, but I do it to myself. So the next step is I have a little bit of witch hazel toner, alcohol-free toner, that I need to put on my face. And just a cotton wipe. I use the unscented because I'm very sensitive to smells. So I like that unscented version. So I also have a pretty big habit of telling myself I'm not good enough. An example, just recently even at work, we had performance appraisals. And we do a self-review, and then your boss writes a review. And then you review it together. So I wrote my review, and I thought I was being very fair to myself. I had myself at meeting expectations in a couple of the areas, and put myself at exceeding expectations in one of the areas. And, oh, my Fitbit just buzzed at me. But I have one of the areas I had myself at exceeding. And, I put all the reasons why in the review part. And I thought it was a pretty fair review. And I get my review back to look at from my boss. And he had me at a much higher rating than I ranked myself. And I read his comments, and I'm struggling to still understand how he put me at a higher rating than I put myself, considering I don't see it that way. So I tend to automatically put myself at a lower level of performance than I would somebody else. I tend to downplay my own contributions and my own accomplishments in my life and tell myself I'm not good enough. And that manifests in a lot of different ways, not just the example I gave, but I have gone as far as just not even made plans to do something with friends because I thought that I wasn't good enough to go to that place or to be in that space or enjoy that. And it's a shame that I put myself in those situations and I put those feelings on myself because it's not anyone else. It's not other people doing this to me. But by the way, this is a 0.25 millimeter derma roller. I like to do this a few times around the face before I put on a mask. It's just got tiny little micro needles that it facilitates cell regrowth. You kind of break down the skin a little bit and then it builds back up stronger. But I just really get down on myself and tell myself I'm not good enough. And I need to understand and keep reminding myself that I am. That my contributions and my accomplishments are worthy of the review results I got. That I am doing the right things and I am doing a good job. So that's why I got the rankings that I'm getting. So it's not really, it's just my own inner dialogue that sort of drags me down. I'm trying out a new face mask that I actually haven't tried. It is I got it on Amazon, an Alba Botanical Hawaiian face mask with perfecting papaya enzyme. I really like puns. So yeah, that's the second thing I do is I really get down on myself and tell myself I'm not good enough. For the same reasons I would say to somebody else how awesome they're doing, and I talk down to myself. And this is just a clear mask. Has a nice smell. Smells very tropical, kind of a pineapple-y. I'm assuming papaya scent. So another way that I let my inner dialogue bring me down and bother me is I am very self-conscious of how much space I take up. You know what, and I mean like physical space. I've talked myself out of going out to dinner, going to karaoke nights, going on planes, because my inner dialogue says that will tell me that I take up too much room and it's not fair to other people to be around somebody that just takes up too much space. And I just need to own myself. People take up a room. All of us do. All of us take up room in this world. And we deserve to take up room. We deserve to take up space. And I need to flip that script, let me tell you. I need to flip that script to own the space, to be proud of the space that I'm in, and know that there is nothing wrong with taking up space. Nothing wrong with it. And, sorry, had to see how long that's supposed to take. Looks like it takes about 5 minutes. I need to own that space and be proud of the fact that I take up room and be happy that I'm here on this earth day to day doing the best I can. And if that means I take up space, I take up space. It is what it is. And there's nothing wrong with taking up space. I tell myself that there's something wrong with taking up space. But there's nothing wrong with taking up space. Just a little lip balm. So it's... I don't think everybody has this same internal dialogue. As a reminder, this is just my internal self-sabotaging dialogue. And I'm talking about it. It's very important to talk about these things because I want to better myself mentally and emotionally. I want to move towards a better headspace. So that's why I'm sharing these things. Another way I tend to self-sabotage and I tend to get inside my own head about things is I think that people don't like me. I tell myself that my personality is too much. I'm too over the top. I'm too extra. I'm obnoxious. Nobody wants to be around people that are like you. You just, you're too loud. And when you're bigger, you can't be that loud. You got to be more mild and meek because you have to hide. And being very transparent, these are the things I say to myself. And it just wreaks havoc on you and makes me feel sad a little bit all the time. So I want to move past it. I want to move forward, and I want to feel like I deserve friends. I deserve to take up space. I deserve to be happy. I deserve these things. And the only way I can move forward and move on from it is to address it. Is to address that this is what I do. This is what we do to ourselves. We self-sabotage. So, I'm sorry if this topic seems a little heavy and I'm maybe rambling a little bit, but it's a very vulnerable topic. It's a very important topic. It's very important to me that I be very raw and open and honest. With that said, those are the 4 ways that I really tend to bring myself down. I compare myself to others unrealistically. I tell myself I'm not good enough. I chastise myself for taking up too much room. And I tell myself nobody likes me. And I know none of those things are true. I know that in the real world outside of my head, none of those things are real. None of those things are true. I have friends that support me. I have every right to take up space. I always get good performance reviews, and I'm a good person, and I take care of those around me, and I watch my dogs, and I adopt dogs, and all of these things. And I just want to take that inner dialogue and shove it and clean it away, because there's no place for it. It doesn't do me any good mentally, health, or emotionally, which then makes it harder to keep your physical life in check too. I'm just gonna remove this mask with another makeup wipe. It doesn't dry down. It just sits on the skin. So how do I continue to do that? Well, how do I continue to move forward and understand and really praise myself versus bring myself down? And I've been thinking a lot about that. And really what I want to do and what I need to do is just take everything one day at a time. Today I promised myself that I'm going to do this, or I'm going to not use this language when talking to myself. And make it an everyday process of reminding myself what I'm good at, what I can bring to, what I bring to people's lives. And that's a really good thing. Oh, it's almost all off. Rub the rest of that in. So, I hope you guys took something away from this. This was a video I've been thinking about for over a week, how I want to frame it, what I want to say, and I decided to just speak, you know, from my heart, from, you know, my real life right now and what I'm thinking at this moment. One thing I wanted to also talk about in this video is I will not be using any filters or Photoshop or anything like that in my videos or my Instagram or my Twitter. If I'm wearing makeup, I'm wearing makeup. If I'm not wearing makeup, I'm not wearing makeup. It's as simple as that. I think it's important for me. For me, it's important to show the real me in my authenticity. This is just a vitamin C serum, by the way. It's important to show my flaws as well as my strengths, so that everybody sees the real me and not a filtered version. So I won't post pictures or videos that have any sort of face tuning or filtering, with the exception of cute things like I like putting ears on sometimes or things like that. But I don't want to mask who I am and mask what I am and what I look like, or if I have blemishes or if I don't. I don't want to mask any of that behind filters, because I'm 41 years old and this is what my 41-year-old face and body look like. So I want to be very transparent and very authentic about it. This is just a rosehip and vitamin C balancing facial oil that I'm putting on for extra hydration, and it just, you know, it feels nice. Let's just be real. It feels really nice. But I want to share with you guys me in my authentic self, and talk to you as an authentic person, because what you see is what you get. It's just how I am. So I hope you've enjoyed this chit chat, get some stuff off my chest video, and I appreciate you guys listening to me be a little bit more vulnerable, be a little bit more open about you know, the things that I do to self-sabotage. And I will continue my everyday struggle to overcome these feelings, because it's a lot. But thank you guys for watching. If you enjoy my content and you want to see more, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and you can hit the bell next to the subscribe button so you can be notified of my future uploads. Like this video, comment below on maybe what you do to help yourself from self-sabotaging dialogue happening in your head. And I hope everyone has a great day. Thanks for watching. See you later.
This the life that I dream of. This the life that I dream of. This the life that I